4 simple chords that most guitarists will need to know at some point are C major, G major, D major, and E minor. This is quite a common chord progression used in a lot of music, and I'm just going to show you how to shape your hand and how to just play. Okay, so when you're playing chords, it's really important to not hit the other strings. So here you can see me just curving my fingers on gently, using my fingertips, and I'm really arching my hand up and over to try and avoid touching the other strings underneath. It's especially important when you've got big chords like this. This one is a G. I've got my third finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. I put my second finger all the way over onto the 3rd fret of the low E string. And my first finger just tucks in on the 2nd fret of the A string, okay? If I'm not arching my hand, what I get is a sound like this. Not very pleasant. When I've got my arch back on, all the notes are ringing out, just like that. Okay, so just to show you one more time, the G, 3rd finger at the bottom, 2nd finger just up on the top on the 3rd fret, 1st finger arching over just on the 2nd fret. Okay, so there's our G. It's important to keep your fingers nice and close to these bits of metal. You can see I'm using my fingertip and just placing it just behind this little piece of metal that comes across the wood. That's called a fret, okay? So, just like that. Okay, so now we've got C, G, we're going to move on to C. C looks like that. I'll just tell you. So first finger sneaks up onto our B string on the 1st fret like that. So that's the 2nd string up. Our 2nd finger comes up to our D string on the 2nd fret, sorry. And then our 3rd finger comes all the way over onto C. Okay? This is quite a simple version of C. And we just make sure again that all our fingers are arching nicely. This finger has a tendency to mute the bottom string by just coming back like that. So it doesn't sound just like that. So you've got to make sure it can ring out. So here we go. On this one, we don't play the bottom string. So we're not going to play this string here, okay? So I stop myself from playing that string by pulling my thumb over ever so slightly, just so this string is muted in exactly the same way we don't want these ones to be muted. Okay, so. Lovely. Okay, so D. D is a slightly smaller chord than the other ones we've been dealing with. So we've got our 2nd finger coming onto the 2nd fret on the E string, down the bottom, just like that. Our 1st finger comes over, and we're kind of making a triangle here. So we've got 3 points, one here, one here, one here, and on the guitar, it's one there, and one there. So just put my fingers on that again, and put them on gently so you can see. So there's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Okay. And on this one, what we're not going to do is we're not going to play the top 2 strings on this one. We're just going to play the bottom 4. Okay? So here we go. Okay. So there's that one. Now E minor, pretty easy. We're just going to take our 2 middle fingers and we're going to shove them just up there on fret 2 on string 2 and fret 2 on string 3. So another little demonstration of that. Fingers come over and then straight on onto fret 2. So then we're going to play all the strings nice and easy. Just like that. Okay. So putting these together, we've got our G, we've got our C, we've got our D, we've got our E minor. So I'm going to play a chord sequence which goes like this. I'm going to go G, I'm going to play C, then I go straight to E minor, then I go to D. I quite like that chord sequence, but you can mess around with it whatever way you like. So on our right hand, we're just going to strum down 4 times, just like that. Okay, so I'll take it nice and slow, just so you can see the changes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, you can see my hand swapping over nice and quickly from chord to chord. Okay? All we need to do is get your hands used to that. It's just to try and change as quickly as you can between the chords, not trying to stay in time whatsoever, okay? So when I try to do that, there you go.